Most people think influence is about charisma, confidence, or clever phrasing, but the truth lives far deeper, in a place most never dare to explore, a place where human behavior is not random but patterned. It's predictable and programmable through subtle cues that operate beneath conscious awareness. And today, you're stepping into that underground world, not to manipulate, but to finally understand the hidden architecture shaping every interaction you've ever had. Every conversation you've ever participated in had two layers: the surface layer of words, tone, and logic, and the subterranean layer of emotional triggers, identity signals, and subconscious pattern recognition. And while the surface layer is where amateurs focus, the underground layer is where real influence lives. Because it's the layer that actually decides whether someone trusts you, follows you, resists you, or opens themselves to your presence. Before influence can happen, perception must be shaped, and this is where most people unknowingly sabotage themselves, right? Because they assume others see them as they intend, when in reality, people see you through a rapid-fire sequence of subconscious filters that categorize you as threat, ally, resource, or irrelevant within seconds. And the underground practitioner learns to control these filters by adjusting micro-behaviors that shift how they are perceived before a single word is spoken. Influence is not about pushing people. It's about creating emotional gravity that pulls them toward you. And this gravity is formed through resonance, the subtle mirroring of emotional states, values, and internal narratives that make someone feel like you get them on a level they can't articulate. And once that resonance is established, people naturally lean in, open up, and follow your lead without feeling pressured or persuaded. The deepest form of influence is not changing someone's mind, but activating a version of themselves that already agrees with you. Because humans don't act based on information, they act based on identity. And when you speak to the identity they aspire to, the stronger, wiser, more capable version of themselves, your words bypass resistance and land directly in the part of the mind that decides behavior. Every interaction contains a power dynamic, not dominance or submission, but the subtle negotiation of who leads the emotional tone, who sets the frame, and whose interpretation of reality becomes the shared one. And underground influence practitioners learn to hold their frame with calm certainty, not through force, but through grounded presence, which naturally causes others to sync to their emotional frequency. Humans communicate far more through signals than sentences, and these signals, pacing, micro-expressions, breath patterns, eye focus, and emotional cadence, transmit meaning faster than language ever could. And when you learn to read these signals, you gain access to the real conversation happening beneath the spoken one, allowing you to respond to what someone truly feels, rather than what they claim to feel. Real influence is a loop, not a push, a continuous cycle of observing, tuning, adjusting, and guiding, where you're not forcing outcomes, but shaping the emotional environment in which decisions are made. And this loop is what makes influence feel natural, effortless, and even supportive, because the other person experiences the interaction as clarity, relief, or alignment rather than persuasion. The underground world is not about control, it's about awareness, because once you understand how influence actually works, you see how often people are swayed by advertising, social pressure, emotional contagion, or unresolved insecurities without realizing it. And ethical influence means using these insights to create clarity, empowerment, and healthier communication, rather than exploiting vulnerabilities. To operate in this world, you must adopt the mindset of a practitioner, someone who observes without judgment, listens beneath the words, and stays grounded in their own emotional center. Because influence is not about being louder or smarter, but about being more attuned, more aware, and more intentional than the average person. And this mindset transforms not just your communication, but your relationships, leadership, and self-perception. When you begin to see the hidden patterns behind human behavior, everything changes. Conversations become clearer, conflicts become solvable, opportunities become visible, and people respond to you differently. Not because you're performing tricks, but because you're finally speaking the real language of human psychology. The language that has always been operating beneath the surface of your life. You've now glimpsed the underground world. But this is only the surface of the surface. It's because the real transformation happens when you learn to apply these principles in real time, in real conversations, with real people. And if you feel the pull, that sense that you're meant to understand this deeper layer of human behavior and step into a more powerful version of yourself, then I invite you to continue this journey inside the Influence Underground, where we go far beyond theory and into the actual practices, frameworks, and real-world applications that turn influence into a lived skill, rather than an abstract idea.